myself Dr. Gaurav Kumar, and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel Learn Microbiology. Today we are going to discuss about Escherichia coli. We will be discussing various aspects of Escherichia coli such as its morphology, cultural characteristics, antigenic structures, pathogenesis, diagnosis and treatment. So let's start the video. Coming to the introduction, E. coli is a gram-negative facultative anaerobic rod-shaped coliform bacterium of the genus Escherichia. E. coli was first discovered by Dr. Thunder Escher, who discovered the bacterium in 1885, and on his name only the genera was named as Escherichia. Escherichia coli belongs to the family Enterobacteriaceae. It is commonly found in the lower intestine of the warm-blooded organisms. Most E. coli strains are harmless, but some serotypes like EPEC, ETEC can cause serious food poisoning in their host. The harmless strains are part of normal microbial flora of the gut and can benefit their host by producing vitamin K2 and preventing colonization of the intestine with pathogenic bacteria. So we can broadly say E. coli can be harmful as well as some strains of E. coli can be beneficial to the human. Coming to the morphology, it is a gram-negative short rod-shaped bacteria. Its size is 2 to 4 microns in length while 0.4 to 0.7 micrometers in diameter. Organism is motile by the means of Peritrichus flagella, which you can see in the image which I have included towards the right hand side. Bacteria is non-spore forming and non-capsulated. The diagram which you are seeing towards the right on the top is the gram-stained smear of Escherichia coli, where you can clearly see the presence of gram-negative rod-shaped bacteria. Cultural characteristics. So E. coli is a facultative anaerobic bacteria which grows at 37 degrees centigrade. If we grow it in nutrient broth, it shows uniform turbidity after 8 to 24 hours of incubation. On nutrient agar, colonies appears after 12 to 18 hours of incubation. They are circular, 1 to 3 millimeter in diameter, smooth and colorless. You can see that in the plate which I have included towards the right of it. McConkie medium. On McConkie medium, E. coli forms pink color colonies due to the lactose fermenting property, as you can see in the image. Blood agar, some strains of Escherichia coli produces beta hemolysis, which again you can see in the photograph which I have included. EMB agar is used as a selectively differential media for Escherichia coli, and on this medium E. coli produces green metallic colony, as you can see in the image. Antigenic structures. So there are 4 types of antigen which is produced by Escherichia coli, that includes somatic antigen O. They are divided into 175 groups designated as O1, O2 up to 175. Second, surface antigen K, which is of 3 types: L antigen, A antigen and B antigen. Third, the flagellar antigen, which is also called as H antigen, and they are of 75 types, starting from H1, H2 up to H75. Fimbrial antigen, that is also called as F antigen. They have no significance in the antigenic classification of E. coli. Still, they have also been reported from several strains of Escherichia coli. Toxins. Escherichia coli is also known to produce toxins like enterotoxin. The mode of action is by activation of adenylyl cyclase, thereby raising levels of CAMP in cell, thus causing extraction of fluid and electrolytes in the lumen of the intestine. And because of this only, E. coli infected person will show symptoms such as diarrhea. Hemolysin. It is associated with bacterial cell and is not filtrable. Because of this, E. coli is capable of causing the hemolysis of the red blood cells. Pathogenesis of Escherichia coli. So Escherichia coli is capable of causing multiple infections like gastroenteritis, urinary tract infections and so on. So we will be discussing one by one. So we are starting with first example, that is gastroenteritis. So certain serotypes of E. coli produces fatal type of gastrointestinal infections, including serotype 4, 26, 46, 55, 86, 111, 112, 119, 127 and 129. These are the O serotypes here we are talking about. I hope all of you remember O serotype. Pathogenic bacteria are ingested by the host and enters the intestinal tract. These bacteria binds to specific receptors on the intestinal epithelial cells by femoral and colonize the jejunal or ileal mucosa of the intestine. Then these bacteria produce a toxin which is transported across the epithelial cells to the circulation. This toxin results in the edema in the different tissues, leading to the manifestation of such symptoms as ectasia and death. Second type of infections which can be caused by Escherichia coli is urinary tract infection or UTIs. Escherichia coli serotype commonly responsible for UTIs are 0, 1, 2, 4, 6 and 7. During UTIs, Escherichia coli is mainly responsible for cystitis, pyelitis and pyelonephritis. Infection may be precipitated by urinary obstruction due to prosthetic enlargement, calculi and pregnancy. E. coli is also responsible for causing pyogenic infections such as wound infection, abscess, peritonitis, cholecystitis and meningitis. E. coli is one of the most common cause of septicemia. The manifestations are fever, hypotension, disseminated intravascular coagulation, which is also called as endotoxin shock. Mortality is significantly high in case of septicemia. Laboratory diagnosis. Hematological investigations such as total leukocyte count or TLC usually remains within the normal limit and does not give any significant information. Differential leukocyte count or DLC, there may be increase in polymorphonuclear cells in the tissue invasion. Bacteriological investigation is of more significance for the diagnosis of Escherichia coli infections. During different type of Escherichia coli infection, different samples can be collected. In urinary tract infection, midstream urine is collected. If you want to know more about bacteriological examination of urine, you can find the link in the I button where you can study about urine culture in detail. In acute diarrhea, the sample of feces or the rectal swab can be collected. Pus can be collected if there is skin or wound infections. Smear examination. Centrifuged urine deposit is examined for pus cells, red blood cells and bacteria in the urine. Gram-Stain smear of the centrifuged deposit shows moderate to large number of pus cells and gram-negative bacilli, as you can see in images. Culture. Culture. The urine sample or stool sample or pus sample is inoculated on blood agar plates and McConkey agar plates. After inoculation, the plates are incubated at 37 degrees centigrade for 24 hours, and after the incubation, the colony morphology is noticed. I have already discussed about colony characteristics in detail. Once you have the colonies, you can go for gram staining and motility test. Other than that, you can also perform various biochemical tests. So E. coli, in case of Escherichia coli, we perform sugar fermentation test for lactose, glucose, sucrose, maltose and mannitol, which is fermented by E. coli with the formation of acid and gas. E. coli is indole and methylbromide positive, while BP and citrate test is negative. Urease is not hydrolyzed by Escherichia coli and hydrogen sulfide is not produced. So by performing these experiments, we can identify the Escherichia coli. Treatment. Escherichia coli is sensitive to sulfonamides, trimethoprim, tetracyclines, chloramphenicol and aminoglycosides. We have few other options as well, like nitrofuranate and naxalidic acid may be useful for treating urinary tract infections. So that's all related to Escherichia coli. I hope you might have liked the information. Please like this video, share it with your friends, and please subscribe to our channel. If you have any queries, you can put your queries in the comment. I'll try to respond to them. Thank you.